Hello guys, how are you? I hope you're doing well and you're watching my YouTube channel Advanced Technology by Rana. In the previous session, we already discussed the types of NAT and we did the configuration of static IP and port, which is PAT and called DIP as well. What we have discussed before, it was static address translation. We discussed about the theoretical part, and then we discussed dynamic address translation, which is dynamic NAT, also the theoretical part, and we discussed the theoretical and the lab section already for the port address translation, which is many to one address mapping between local and global addressing. Okay, so this one we already discussed it, and in today's session guys, we are going to make a lab for static address translation. My topology is same from day first with the same IP addresses, except I have added some devices on my outside zone to make lab for static address translation and dynamic. Okay, so I added one desktop on my internet router with a different subnet. Then I have added a branch router as interface IP is 85 which is connected with a remote user with a different subnet. Okay, so this is my topology, and let's start our lab for today. And guys, please don't forget to subscribe and like this channel, and if you like this video, please don't forget to leave your feedback. And second thing, this lab I will going to do from very basic to the advanced level with the static address translation. And if any one of you have some confusion or is not comfortable with static address translation, my advice for him to watch this video. Okay, after watching this video, I'm sure he will feel comfortable with the configuration of static NAT. And also the next video will be for dynamic address translation. This one I will also do from very basics to the advanced level. So please keep in touch and keep watching, and let's start our lab for today. This is my Palo Alto firewall. I will just show you my existing configuration. Let me go to the network part, and on the interface side, these are my interfaces. Yes, these are my interfaces, okay, which is my outside, my DMZ, and my inside interfaces, zones already created as DMZ inside and outside. So this is the continuity of my previous recorded session. And if you see this video in the continue, and in the continuity, you will find this and you will understand what exactly is the configuration. Okay, so then on the interfaces side, let me check on the routing side. I will show you. I'll go to the virtual routers. Okay, so I already configured in my previous session OSPF, and it is full mesh reachability with the OSPF, including this new interfaces. I can show you over here. OSPF neighborship. So my neighborship status is full. Okay, so my whole topology is reachable with the OSPF, which is dynamic protocol. Okay, so this is also already done. Let me show you configuration regarding my NAT and security policies. Okay, so I already configure my NAT from DMZ to outside. In the DMZ, I have only two subnets, 10, 192.168.10.0 and 192.168.20.0. Okay, so these subnets are on my DMZ side, which is my VLAN 10 and VLAN 20. And further, from inside, I have different subnets which already added as per my previous recorded session. Okay, on the security side, I'll show you here. My inside to outside, I make NAT already, so my internal IPs will not be exposed to my external world. Also from DMZ to outside, my security policies is already configured. This is my security section. So for the security, these subnets are allowed from inside to outside, and for DMZ, these subnets are added from DMZ to outside. Okay, and on the NAT side, I make this configuration to keep hide my internal IPs on the DMZ side, which is 10 and 20 subnets to external world, and from inside, these subnets will not be exposed. Okay, so next section, if you see over here, is dynamic IP and port. Okay, in the dynamic IP, guys, if you remember, because we are doing inside to outside NAT, and NAT is required to hide my internal IPs. So we use a port address translation, which is dynamic IP and port. And in dynamic IP and port, what is happen? I will use my one public IP address, and then randomly ports are generated from pre-NAT to post-NAT. Okay, from inside to outside with a single public IP. Okay, and this is the most common and most famous configuration for any firewall to make your reachability from inside to outside. Okay, so the next section we are going to do now is static NAT. So let's see over here. What is a static NAT? I'll just go directly, I'll go from here. This is my DMZ zone from inside, from DMZ, and these subnets are going to translate it as dynamic IP and port. Okay, so right now what I will do now, static IP. Okay, but guys, static IP is not so famous configuration to make it reachable from inside to outside because of the limitation. Okay, so static IP have the limitation. What are those limitation? Let's discuss is now. In the static NAT, static IP, if I have 50 user on my inside network and I want to make it reachable with the outside, I need the 50 public IPs configured on my Palo Alto firewall for one-to-one translation. Okay, and if I have a bigger environment, I need, of course, the more IPs on the external side with the public IP. So this is the main limitation with a static IP. And second thing, it will make you a very high cost. Okay, so this is the reason, but for the lab purpose we'll see how it work. Okay, so I will do one thing. I will just show you static IP. I have configured 192.168.100.1 and 100.2. I will just put some subnet 192.168.100.5 to 192.168.100.168.100.10. Okay, I give 5 static IPs for my translation from inside and from DMZ, and we will see what the result happen, and then we will discuss further on this one. Okay, so from DMZ to this one I have done it, so I'll make it commit, and let's see and then discuss. So guys, the second limitation, the second issue with the static NAT is showing us right now. So as soon as I commit it, it's showing me the result as failed. And what is the reason behind this one? The error said NAT rule DMZ to outside, mismatch of static IP, source translation address range between original address and translated address. Okay, so this is the second issue and the second limitation. What it's saying, let's discuss now. I'll go over here. What I'm saying now, from my DMZ, I make 2 subnets which have 254 IPs with 10 and 20. I said make it translate packet with these IPs. Okay, so the subnet, what I am saying right now from the source address does not match with the option with the translated address what I mentioned in my source address translation. Okay, so what it mean? It mean I need the same number of IPs which I'm going to make NAT from my DMZ to outside. Okay, so if the IPs does not match, it will not allow, because Palo Alto firewall knows what interfaces are configured and what NAT is configured and what configuration we are going to make it now. So once it see that it does not match, it make me error. So what is the solution? I should have the same number of IP from my DMZ to my static IP, what I'm going to mention here. So this is the main and second limitation for this static address translation. So what is the solution right now? Let's come on that one. To do this lab, I will do one thing. I will just remove this subnet, okay, and I will keep it as 192.168.10.0, and I will make a subnetting for this address and make it a 2-bit address available. So my two addresses will go from DMZ to my outside zone. Okay, for this one I will use a calculator. Let's see over here, 192.168.10.100 with 30-bit of subnetting and 2 hosts I want. So my subnet is 100, and 101 and 102 IPs are available for the static address translation. So I will use this one. Okay, so these are the IPs available. So this is my subnet ID. So what I will do now, I'll make it 192.168.10.100/30. Okay, so my 2 IPs are available as a 30-bit of masking. And translation packet, I will do the same thing. My subnet interface is 192.168.100.1. This is my subnet. So I will do the subnetting of 2-bit static IP. 192.168.100. I will make it 52. Okay. Yes, 52. So 53 and 54, these two subnets with /30, I will use for my DMZ, and I will create another subnet from my inside. Okay, so for right now, I will use this one, 192.168.100.50. I'll mention here 192.168.100.52/30. Okay. This one I have done it. So now I have a same number from source addresses to my source translation IP. Okay, so this is my source IP, and I keep any destination any because this is traffic going to my outside interface. Hits count, I will just reset it. I will reset this. Okay, so for the DMZ side, my issue is resolved. Let me fix on the inside to outside as well, and then we make it commit, and we'll see it will work fine. Okay, so on the inside interface, I will use VLAN 30, which is my DB VLAN, to make static NAT translation to go outside. Okay, so for this one, let's go to the configuration side. From inside to outside, I will inside to outside, original packet in inside and destination is outside. I will remove my remaining subnet. Otherwise, I have to do a big configuration. So I will remove this one, and I'll keep 30 as 100/30. So 101 and 102 will be available as a source address. Destination address, I will keep as any. Okay. And or I can do one thing. I can just mention here as my 85, 85, 85, 85. Okay. What is my destination address? This is my branch route. Okay. So we will do this one. I will change on the other side as well. And then I will make it translation packet with a static IP. And let me use the calculator. And I will use another subnet from some 60 range. Yeah, 61 and 62. Okay, so this is my subnet ID 192.168.100.60 with 2 hosts available, 61 and 62 for my translation. Okay, 100.60. 192.168.100.60/30. Okay, so this one I have done. Let me change here the destination. I can click over here and add my destination 85, 85, 85, 85, 85. Okay, so now my configuration are match. My 2 source addresses will be translated with the 2 static IPs. So 2 versus 2, my configuration is match. So I hope this time I does not face issue to make my configuration commit. Okay, so this is done. On the security side, I will not change anything because I would just want to make NAT in the inside. I want make 30, and from the DMZ I want to keep it 10. So I will keep as it is, and I will make it commit. I hope it will work fine. So guys, my configuration committed successfully, and we successfully able to configure a static NAT. Okay, so I hope it is clear to you now that how the static NAT is able to work with source and destination. So what I will do now, if you see over here, I have configured for the NAT for the DMZ 100 subnet /30, and I have only 2 addresses available as per my NAT. 10.100, okay, 92168, sorry, 10.100. So 101 and 102 is usable IPs. So 101 I will configure on my switch interface, and 102 I will assign to my this web server. Okay, so I'll go to my DMZ here. So I will change show run interface VLAN 10. Let me change the IPs and subnets. 101 is my SVI, and 252 I have configured this one. Okay, so my /30 is configured now. I will not use my VLAN 20. I will keep as it is. Or another thing, I will go to my web server and change the IP for this one to 102. Let me make it zoom. Okay, so IP address is 100, so I will make it 102. Okay, and subnet will be 101. I will do one thing. I will remove my DNS. Okay, I'll keep as it is. Can I removable? Just wait. Okay. Because my net BIOS will communicate, which I does not want at this time. So my properties are able, and my details, it's okay. 192.10.102, and gateway is this one. Okay, so I have done this configuration. Let me zoom out, and I will do one thing. Let me check here reachability. 168.10.101. Yes, I'm able to ping my gateway. Okay, so I have done this one. Same thing I will do in my QR search. So VLAN 30, I will do one thing. I will just go over here. Show IP interface brief, exclude unassign. So VLAN show run interface VLAN 30. Let me change the subnet. Make it 101, and this one 252. Okay, I hope this is fine. I'll go to my DB and change the IP. Thirty dot 102 and 30.101. I will remove the DNS, so this will not communicate with the internet. Okay, I just wanted to communicate with my branch router. Okay, so this is done now. Let me check the reachability. 30.101. Okay, this is done now. Let me exit and let me connect, and we will see the result for this static NAT. I'll connect my Palo Alto firewall. 192.168.0.119. This is the mainnet IP for my Palo Alto firewall. This is done now. Let me clear the session. Clear session all. This will clear my all NAT sessions. And I will do one thing. I have just configured 2 IPs. So I will go my DMZ switch and I will make telnet to this branch router with VLAN 10. Okay. So this is my TOR switch, not TOR, DMZ switch. This is my DMZ switch. Okay. So what I will do now, let me see over here in the NAT side. Show session all. Okay, so there is no session right now. Let me clear session. Yes. Okay, so if you see, I have only 3 active flow, which is my interfaces. So I'll come over here with my DMZ switch and I'll make it telnet 85 85 85 85 as source interface VLAN 10, which I have configured for NAT. Okay, so I'll put my username and I'm able to log in. Show IP interface brief. So this is my WAN device with this IP 85 85 85. So let's see over here now. Show session all. Okay, so my session is done now. Previously it was 3 sessions. Okay, so now I have another one. Let's discuss now. I'll keep it zoom out. I believe it's okay. Okay, so guys, let's discuss our session. What is saying the session ID? When I give show session all, it gives me the detail for all my session. So my session ID is 946. What application I'm using? That is telnet. Okay, and this state is active right now, and type is flow and NS. Network source, NAT source. Okay, so this flag is showing that my NAT source is working, and I come from this way here. It's mentioned source, which is source my desktop, my DB server 192.168.10.101, and what is the static source port? 49137. Okay, and what is the zone? That was DMZ zone. And what is the protocol number? That protocol number is 6. And the main thing which is noticeable is my translated IP. Okay, so what translated my IP? 192.168.100.53, which we configure during the NAT. If you see over here, from the DMZ, I have configured 52. So 53 and 54 is my available IPs as per my calculator. Okay, 10.100. What is 100.52? Okay, yes, 53 and 54 is my usable IPs. So as per my result, my translation is happened to 53, which was the first available. And if you notice, my both ports are same. So there is no change in the port, only change as 1-to-1 static mapping from inside, from DMZ to outside. So when the external world will see my IP, they are not able to see this IP. They are aware about this traffic, this IP. That traffic is coming from 192.168.100.53. So my internal network is automatically secure. And what is my destination IP and destination port? This is my destination IP, and port is 23 for the telnet, and the zone is outside. Okay, and there is no change in translating the outside my device, because this does not matter if it is visible, because my internal network is fully secure. So let's go and look something in detail. I'll make it show session ID with 946. Okay, so this is my session detail. Let's see now what is information it's giving to us. My session is this one, C2S, C for client to server. Okay, so from client side, my flow, it is giving me actually my flow. How from client C to S, C to S, client to source, and S to S, S to C, source to client. Okay, so whatever we have seen over here as source and destination, it is giving me information in detail. So what is saying, my source IP is 101 from DMZ is going towards where destination with protocol number 6, and my source port is this one, and destination port for the telnet is 23. Okay, and what is happen, it's the source on the source side, what is my so is 85, which is my outside, and destination port is 192.168.100.53. Okay, in other word, it is giving me the information as a reverse order, because when this information will be come back, how it will match, it will match with the source and destination. Okay, so another thing is my source port is 23 and state is active, type is flow, and my destination port and source ports both are same, only change from this one to this one. Okay, and here it is giving me start time information, and then it is giving me application is telnet, what the rule, what I have which I have defined, this is DMZ to outside, and NAT rule is DMZ to outside, and address port translation is source. This is the other information it is giving me. So this is our results with the static translation one-to-one. So session all. Yes, okay. Now what I will do now, I will go to my DB. My DB is here. Let me check. Sorry, web. Okay. So what I'll do now, I'll go to my web session. Let me connect and see 85, 85, 85, 85. Okay. I connected. So I'm reachable from my web server. First, I tried from my DMZ switch at a VLAN 10, which was succeeded. And now I tried from web and it's also succeeded. Show IP interface brief, exclude unassign. Okay. So this is my IP. Okay. My WAN device. So let's see now on the firewall. Show session all. So before I have one session, okay, from my 10.101, okay, and now I have another session which is 102, which is my server. Okay, which server? That server is my web server. Okay, so this is my web server. So let's see over here what is saying me now. So same thing as a 102 is already, it is also here, 101 is here, this is my 101. Okay, and now I have created another session from my server side. So if you notice this one, this is my SSH before I make telnet. So SSH active flow netted source, and this is my IP source IP server, this is the port DMZ, and this is important to be noticed, 54. So my translation is happened successfully. It's 53 and 54 I have declared already. Okay, so my source port and destination ports are same, and IPs are same as it is 85, 22, and also the destination port is 22. So guys, my source static, my static translation is done successfully, and we see the result. I can show you something more over here. If I go for Let me check my VLAN 20 is reachable or no. Or I can go to my DMZ. Okay, and I will make it telnet 85.85.85 source interface VLAN 20. Yes. Okay, so let's see now this translation is done or not. Show session all. So guys, if you see over here with the telnet as 20.1, okay, so in the 20.1 you will not find NS. Here you find NS, okay, netted source, because I exit from my my DMZ switch. So here it is as a DMZ switch as well, 101. This was my DMZ switch. Okay, so 102 is already there. Now I'm logging from my DMZ switch as a VLAN 20. So in the VLAN 20, it's missing with NS, which is mean it's not doing the netted source. And if you see over here, 192.168.20.1, the ports are same and IP is also same. So here what happened, my IPs are going transparently and my external world can see my actual IP and they can reach me back and they can make a trouble for me. So this is the major difference between netted source as a static address translation. Okay guys, so the same thing I will do from my 2-hour search, and then we will wind up our lab for today. In the 2-hour search, I'll make it telnet 85.85.85 source VLAN 30. Okay, so I'm reachable with my WAN device. Okay, this is the IP 0/3 for my this interface 0/3. Now see our result on the Palo Alto firewall. Show session all. Okay, so I make a telnet from subnet 30.101, which is my VLAN on the switch side. So netted source is working fine. This is the source IP with this port from inside and going to translated 61. So my translation happened successfully. The same port and the same destination IP with the telnet port. So guys, this is our result. So let's do our last step and then we will wind up our video for today. I'll go to my VLAN, DB VLAN. Let me check over here. Show IP interface. Wait. Okay, guys. So this is my WAN from my DB to my WAN device. Okay. Let's see on this side now. Show session all. So I have created another session. Here I have only 2 sessions. So the first session was, this is my first session from the telnet, okay, with the translation of 61. And this is my second session as 192.168.30.102, which is my server. Okay, this is my server 102. And this is the port from inside. And it translated to 192.168.100.62, and this is my 100.61. So my NAT, static NAT translation done successfully. Okay, so guys, we have done our lab for today. I hope you have enjoyed this video and it will give you some information. And please don't forget to watch the upcoming next video, which is related with the dynamic address translation. Okay, and this dynamic address translation is also a very important, and if you have any confusion, keep watching this video as well, and hope you are doing well. Inshallah, take care and see you. Bye bye. Allah Hafiz.